Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing purple, his official weight, 134.5 pounds. His professional record, 49 victories, including 45 knockouts, with 6 defeats and a draw. From Mexicali, Mexico, here's the #2 ranked WBC contender in the world, former lightweight champion of the world, Jose Luis El Temible Castillo. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trimmed with gold, his official weight, 135 pounds. His professional record, 33 victories, including 25 knockouts, with only 2 defeats and 1 bout even. Fighting out of Sacramento, California, here's the #1 WBC lightweight contender in the world, Juan the Hispanic causing panic Lazcano.
Hold on, you guys. Okay, here we go. Vámonos. Okay. Caballeros, ustedes recibió sus instrucciones. Mira, aquí está bien, aquí no. Mira, aquí está bien, aquí no. Del cinturón para arriba. Yo quiero una pelea limpia. Escúcheme, cuídate. Listo, listo. Vámonos.
For us boxing degenerates who prefer competition to mere star turns, this is the main event until proven otherwise.
Well, a lot of people think it's just going to be a collision. Lazcano can box and sometimes chooses to, but Castillo Roy Jones is a straight-ahead stalker who's going to go hunting for Lazcano's body and try to create pressure that will force this to become a fight.
Yes, and I don't think he'll have to go look too far because I don't think Lazcano is going to back away from him too much.
Look at the size of these lightweights.
Yeah, they used to call them middleweights, I think.
Roy, you've had this experience of getting yourself down to where you're dry, dizzy, lightheaded, cranky, just to make a weight for a few minutes and then go back up 12 or 15 pounds overnight. Is it something of an out-of-body experience?
Yes, something of an out-of-body experience, but it teaches you a lot about yourself. That's one of the things that I regret doing last time I fought. I didn't do that like I normally do it, but that does create a bond with you and yourself because your body tells you, I can't go, and then your mind has to take over and say, oh, you gonna go.
So it might not be all that big a minus for Castillo coming into the fight.
No, it's not. It's a great plus for him.
Lazcano is boxing for round 1, and so far Castillo has not gone forward to apply pressure indiscriminately, conscious as he is of the fact that Lazcano, in addition to everything else he can do, can counterpunch.
Lazcano is also big for a middleweight, so he doesn't have such a big advantage here.
You mean for a lightweight? But,
yes,
but they are junior middleweights at this moment.
They are legitimate junior middleweights.
Jabbing contest through much of round 1 so far. Now, Lazcano's back touches the ropes. Castillo momentarily moved as if to go in and then stepped back, and the boxing match resumes.
Alto, sepárese.
Both of these guys also fight a middleweight pace. They're not fighting a lightweight pace.
Right. That's right. Fewer punches per round than you might see in a legitimate lightweight fight, even though they're fighting for the legitimate lightweight title at this moment.
Well, this is just a feel-out round, obviously, trying to see how quick each other is, where their main weapon is coming from, how they're going to move, getting their distance.
Castillo slid in a little tap below the belt, or maybe a couple of them when he was on the other side away from Tony Weeks, but Weeks, I think, spotted it and mentioned something to Castillo.
Yeah, there you saw Castillo looking for that jab that Lazcano was throwing effectively to the body, and he came over. It didn't quite land the flush, but that's part of this process. Lazcano is outlanding Castillo in this round.
If this pattern were to obtain for 12 rounds, it's hard to imagine how Castillo would have a chance to win the fight. Right now, they're fighting a fight that is far more comfortable for Juan Lazcano. And right now, we go to the corners between rounds where they speak Spanish, and our interpreter is Ray Torres.
Okay, be careful with his right hand. Yeah, move your waist a little bit more. And then combinations and finish on the top. Yeah. Okay, don't let him give him a chance. You'll be first. Just watch out for the right hand. That's all you need to worry about. Yeah. Don't forget to move your waist.
You can come back with that right hand, okay? You're doing, how do you feel? Good? You look great on it. Let me just tell you something. One, I guarantee you. He's going to try and... Right, I know. He's going to try to come out this way. That's fine. But you have to take every advantage on the inside he gives you. Don't oblige him when he wants to tie you up on a second. Work a free hand, will you?
You heard the words of Joe Goosen talking to Juan Lazcano, calmly telling him how to take advantage of every opportunity Castillo offers. Goosen in this position partially because of his eye-opening victory with Diego Corrales over Joel Casamayor in the rematch between those two fighters. And Goosen accomplishing what many might have thought was a difficult task in getting Corrales to box and box his way to victory in that fight.
Major accomplishment for Goosen.
One of the things I think is very good about Joe Goosen, Roy, is that more than a lot of trainers, he can communicate calmly and effectively to a fighter during the fight and get the fighter to listen. Doesn't always happen.
No, it doesn't. And it's really important that he stays like he stays, because he keeps his cool head, and that makes the fighter keep a cool head.
I'm always questioning, however, when a fighter has been with a trainer for a long period of time and he comes up to his big moment and he changes trainers for whatever good reasons he may think he has. In this case, because he thought Freddie Roach was too busy with other fighters and he wanted the attention all on himself. Roach claims that he had offered to bring Lazcano with him so that he could give him full attention.
With him to Phoenix to be in Mike Tyson's training camp.
Yeah.
And Lazcano understandably felt as though, well, exactly how much attention am I going to get in Tyson's situation?
Exactly. And as a champion, a guy seeking to be a champion, you don't want to go somewhere and be treated as the second guy. You want to go there and be treated as the main guy. So I understand why Lazcano would make a move like that at a time like this.
So Goosen, as the result of what he did with Corrales, now has both Shane Mosley and Juan Lazcano. And I said, Joe, what happens when a heavyweight comes along for you? And he said, no, I've committed to these three fighters that they will be my stable for the time being.
Things starting to heat up a little here.
Yep, Castillo getting closer. And as he gets closer, there's more pressure and there are more exchanges in the fight.
One thing you see Lazcano doing is he's stepping to the left and stepping to the right. He's not giving Castillo an opportunity to corner him.
Castillo lands a little left hook right up on the shoulder of Lazcano. Lazcano's been very effective with his jab, both upstairs and downstairs. Castillo trying to find ways to counter and to create more pressure by getting closer.
But that jab is really keeping Castillo at bay right now.
Left hook uppercut combination. Now Lazcano lands his own left hook.
Alpha.
As round two concludes, what was thought by some to be a war between Juan Lazcano and Jose Luis Castillo remains a boxing match. And speaking of boxing, mark your calendars for these upcoming programs. June 19, HBO's Boxing After Dark, Marco Antonio Barrera against Paulie Ayala, and Jermaine Taylor versus Raul Marquez. July 17, triple header of outstanding young fighters featuring Juan Diaz, Rocky Juarez, and Kermit Cindrone, all against representative opponents. July 24, everyone's favorite action fighter Arturo Gatti defending his 140-pound belt against sluggard Leonard Doreen, and Francisco Panchito Bojaro against Jesse James Leija. And July 31, HBO pay-per-view, Eric Morales versus Carlos Famoso Hernandez.
Don't just get tied up. Work. If you're going to be in there, take some punches to that body. Take something out of him before you leave, okay? So again, if you're going to box him, counterpunch him. But if he gives up ground, go ahead and make up that room and attack him a little bit, okay? You got to pick up the pace a little bit now.
You mentioned two fighters who were champions from Texas, Ayala at 122, and of course Leija as a featherweight and junior lightweight, I believe. There was also Orlando Canizales, the outstanding bantamweight, and now Lazcano is trying to become another Texan and the first from El Paso to win a championship.
El Paso, great boxing town, produced the largest boxing crowd of recent years when nearly 50,000 filled a stadium to watch Oscar De La Hoya take batting practice against Patrick Charpentier. Oh, good left hook by Castillo. And as he nails Lazcano, he chases him to the ropes and gets in another good clean shot.
Yeah, but he got caught with a good jab himself first.
Well, Lazcano tried to get a little offensive and walked into a left hook.
Well, we heard Joe Goosen saying to Lazcano that he had to pick up the pace, and now there's blood over the right eyebrow of Juan Lazcano. Perhaps the result of a clash of heads. No. Can't tell if there's blood on Castillo's forehead as well. His back is turned to us.
But this is the fight Castillo wants.
And no blood on Castillo, only on Juan Lazcano. So Lazcano now a little bit the worse for wear after momentarily, here in round 3, the fight turns in Castillo's favor. Straight right hand lands for Castillo. Castillo starting to put a little more mustard on his punches.
Lazcano's nose is also bleeding right now.
Yeah, Castillo is definitely throwing the harder punches.
Seemed in the first couple of rounds just to be trying to make contact. Now he's letting him rip. And like that left hook upstairs. Good shot. Now Lazcano lands a right hand. Counter left. Castillo with his own counter left. They're trading shots.
Yeah, Castillo hurt Lazcano then, though.
The war has begun. Lazcano with an across-the-top right arm punch. Didn't bother Castillo much.
I think they've hurt each other this round, actually.
No. Wow. He wants to stop with his hand. No, come on.
But regardless of who's been hurt and by what, the style of the fight has suddenly reversed in Castillo's favor.
Yes, it has. But Castillo's nose is also bleeding. He's taking some heavy shots, just as Lazcano has.
Right hand by Lazcano there. And now Lazcano momentarily tying Castillo up. And between rounds, they'll be assessing the damage in both corners, because you've got two bleeding noses and apparently some blood elsewhere on Juan Lazcano. Right hand over the top by Castillo, landed flush. The final bout of the card features Oscar De La Hoya in his first appearance at 160 pounds against Germany's Felix Sturm. There's a look at De La Hoya as he arrived here in the arena just a short time ago. Unusually, Oscar has been more or less an afterthought for the last 48 hours, with all the controversy here in Vegas swirling around Bernard Hopkins and his threat to pull out of his fight against Robert Allen.
Punches as well. You caught him with a good body shot at the end. You caught him with a good jab and a hook yourself. But I'm going to tell you something. You've got to start letting that right hand go. Okay, he's not expecting.
You got him with the right hand. Yeah. Don't let him get too close. Yeah, but don't bring over the confidence. Yeah, I'm going to throw it. I'm going to hit him with a tough jab so he can feel it.
CompuBox numbers in round 3. Lazcano landed 10 out of 48 punches, but Castillo had a big round. 19 out of 59, 32%. 15 out of 48 power shots. And the fight momentarily turned in his favor. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. 2 rounds to 1, 29-28. Jose Luis Castillo. Jim, I want to tell you something. In the first round, Juan Lazcano boxed beautifully. Jose Luis Castillo didn't do much. But in the second round, I felt the power of Castillo starting to get to Lazcano. We saw what he could do in the third round, where he caught him with some terrific hooks. And now it's the pattern is the same in this round. I don't think Lazcano could stand it and trade with him.
It's one of the rare times when we heard a fighter tell the trainer what he was going to do in that round. He said he was going to